Welcome back to NYSE TV Live, everyone. I'm Kristen Scholler. Well, stocks are open for trade. We saw Fiverr ring the opening bell. We'll be hearing from Fiverr CEO soon on the floor with, of course, those Fed meeting minutes in focus coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern. One topic we talk a lot about here on the show is artificial intelligence. AI has transformed market activity and is increasingly impacting the workforce, too. Joining me now with an inside look as to AI's potential and outcomes is Dean Carignan. He's AI Innovations Director at Microsoft. Dean, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. We have your book on set here. You've got a brand new book out as of yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What is this all about?
Yeah, so my co-author Joanne Garbin and I have a mission, and that mission is to democratize innovation. We looked around us at the world and the way it's changing, and in the era of generative AI, how it's changing even faster. And we also saw the stress that that kind of change imposes on companies, organizations, people, even society. So we said there needs to be kind of a how-to guide, how to navigate these periods of change. And we realized that in our employer, Microsoft, we had the perfect reference material. It's a company that's turning 50 years old this year. It has reinvented itself more than 4 times in its history. And even at the age of 50, it keeps innovating and changing kind of like a startup. So we talked to everyone we could across the company, senior, junior, different divisions, alumni and current employees, and we packaged it up into a guide for anyone who wants to learn how to innovate more effectively.
Okay, great. So I love that. We were looking at the table of contents together, and you mentioned that there are case studies, essentially, of Microsoft products and how innovation was at play. Talk to me about what viewers can take away via some of these case studies.
Yeah, the reason we chose this case study format is that innovation is this, what we call a loopy process. It moves forward and backwards. It has successes and setbacks. It's very different from the way companies try to operate, which is very linear and straight. So by telling each of these stories about products that people know, like Xbox, Office, Visual Studio Code, we were able to show those advances and setbacks and help people to understand how loopy the process is. So when they hit their first loop back, they'll not feel alone. And they'll be like, hey, this happens at Microsoft, and I remember how they got through it. So we wanted to present that side of innovation.
I want to talk about artificial intelligence because I think a lot of people look to AI as the next great innovator. Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. AI is going to give everyone superpowers, and it's going to allow us to amplify the things we do well. But it's not simply going to happen passively. You have to proactively identify how to use AI, learn about it, integrate it. So another thing we wanted to do with the book was to inspire people to be prepared to embrace that change, because it can be scary and it can feel intimidating. But every one of us is kind of going to get a little bit disrupted in how we work. And so proactively bringing the technology in is the way to stay ahead.
I want to talk more about that disruption element. Can you quantify what type of disruption we might see with this technology?
The best way to think about AI and what it's really good at right now is the things that are standardizable and routinizable, the things that you can actually write down exactly the steps for how to do it. The things that it's very bad at, things that involve creativity, divergent thinking, empathy with other people. The example I always like to use is in medicine. A lot of doctors will spend up to 30% of their time on paperwork. They're not adding a huge amount of value, they hate it, and they'd rather be with patients. So what we're likely to see in that industry is a lot of the routine things going to AI, but the things that really use the human brain and the human intellect will be a bigger part of our jobs, and our jobs should become more satisfying and engaging.
What are some of the top innovations that you expect this year?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a big question. I think I'm very excited for multimodal AI, which means AI that doesn't just deal with text, but it also involves images, voice, video. I think the voice-based co-pilots and agents that we're seeing now are really powerful because it's a more natural and intuitive way for us to interact with intelligence. I've moved a lot of my own interactions into voice, and I think that'll just be really profound and important this year.
You are the AI Innovations Director at Microsoft. What does that role entail?
So we think of AI as encompassing science, engineering, and then user experience. My team is a small team, but we cover all three of those disciplines. So I have scientists who are thinking about what can the next AI model do. I have engineers who are prototyping experiences of how people might interact. And I have user researchers who are thinking about how do people understand and engage with AI. And a lot of our job is to shorten the loop from a scientific breakthrough to something that's useful and practical for our customers.
And how does this book set you up for success in terms of innovations this year?
Innovation is this positive something. The more innovators that are out there, the better the industry does, the better society does. So for me, if more people master the tools of innovation, there's more people for me to collaborate with, and my own innovations will go farther.
Democratizing access to innovation, right?
Exactly.
Dean, it's such a pleasure to have you. I'm going to show your book one more time. Our viewers can definitely see it. It is on sale as of yesterday. Dean Carignan, he's AI Innovations Director at Microsoft, with some great use cases in this book, The Insider's Guide to Innovation. Dean, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you.